Okay, sure. If you're watching this, you just got finished from watching the Profit, and it's based on a company called 240sweet. It's a candy store, and of course, we all know the Profit has Marcus Lemonis on it, who's a very successful businessman, and it's based. The company's in Columbus, Indiana, and the owners are Alexa Limley and Samantha Aulick. And actually, this show was actually produced reality show, and I use reality as very loosely when I discuss these shows, because there's a lot of editing, a lot of fake drama that goes on in these shows, and the Profit's probably one of the better ones. I think the foundation is there. The foundation is real businesses, and Marcus Lemonis is donating a lot of his money and time. Well, not donating, he's trying to make money, let's face it. But at least it's based in some reality, right? Whereas a lot of these other shows, it's like fake drama. It's all staged, well, 90% staged, like Storage Wars and there's a lot of those pawn shows, But I thought, hey, this is going to be another good company for Marcus to invest in. These ladies seemed like that they were, had a lot of skill and that showed a lot of promise. And as you know, Pete came in, who Marcus had a lot of success with and made a lot of money with, along with Pete. But of course, during the show, slowly started seeing the attitude coming from them, and their true colors started to show. And cut to the chase. I'm sure you've seen this, but I'm sure you've seen the show. But cut to the chase, they were just nasty, and they used them according to the show. And but there's one thing about it. The lady, that had cancer, that was supposed to be 10% partner. Come on, she didn't lie. She thought she had 10% of the company, and she's not going to give that up. So I know for a fact that her side of the story, she would have nothing to gain to lie. So she was thinking that she was going to be 10% partner. And the lady, one of the owners at the end said, well, we're using you. We used you to get our dad out. And Marcus is like, well, thanks for finally telling me the truth. But I don't know if these ladies are naive, if they're stupid, or exactly what. When I was saying that the show is based on, reality, supposedly, there's a lot of editing. They could use someone's smirk or a frown or concern on their face that wasn't actually in that particular scene that they're showing. It's a nice thing of editing. And they do that to get you to stay watching and to watch the commercials and keep the drama up and all that stuff. I know all that. And I've even seen Marcus egg people on and egg partners along with the company in order to get drama on the camera. And of course, drama sells, and it's, you get more viewers. More viewers means you get more, commercial revenue and all that stuff. So I've seen them create drama. It's like two dogs, right? Two hungry dogs, and they're next to each other, and then you throw a bone right in the middle of them to get them to fight, right? And so, I take a lot of what's on these shows with a grain of salt. But there's some things that you can't edit. There's some things that what comes out of people's mouth is what comes out of people's mouths. And for that lady, for that owner at the end, the brown-headed lady, for her to, tell that employee, ask that employee, I forgot the exact word that Marcus called the owner, but the owner turned to the employee and says, "Hey, am I really this way?" And the employee didn't say anything. And then the lady didn't say anything. And then the owner's like, "Well, um, do you like your job?" So she's basically threatened that poor employee with her job if she didn't answer the right way. Okay. There's no editing that. I'm sorry. There's no editing that. There's no editing when you interview an employee that was just given 10% of the company, and all of a sudden they're forced out of the company. Okay. What happened was they were using Marcus, according to their own words, right? They were using Marcus, number one, to get the father out, and number two, to get publicity for the show. Well, publicity, yeah, I don't think you realize what kind of publicity you're going to get. And it might not be the kind of publicity that's going to keep you open. Because if you read the chat rooms and I've gone to, their Facebook page, and it's nothing but negative review after negative review for 240sweet. If you go to their Facebook page, and then you go to their Google reviews, and this is based on their own company, right? For people that never even, ate their candy. And do I necessarily agree with giving them a negative review based on that? I don't agree with that, because you didn't actually taste the candy, okay? Or you didn't go to the store and you didn't partake in their services. And I think with that, I don't think that that's right to give them a negative review, in my opinion. Now, you can go to their Facebook page and voice your opinion. I think that's fair. And, but the unleashing that they're getting, I've already seen it. And this is the first day that the show aired. Not very smart. And I was reading where Marcus actually stood up for them and went to the, this is before he knew what they were pulling. He actually went to the Chamber of Commerce and got them a prime spot in Columbus, Indiana. Got them a prime spot, and companies that were ahead of them that was going to get that spot. And, Marcus is like, this is going to be good for the town. It's going to be good for the economy and whatever. And they got that spot just because of Marcus, what he did for them. And they were completely ungrateful. And, I wasn't happy of how they treated Pete when he came in to help them with the recipe. Now, I understand cooks are proud people, right? And when you come in and you change everything around on them, and it's like, well, this is not my product. You're pushing your own thing. But I guarantee you they're still using Pete's recipe and his advice. And that's why they're doing so well. And by the way, they are doing well. They've expanded. There are a lot of shops and all that. But, the way they treated Pete, it's wrong. And Marcus is right. The collaboration that you have with other people, other business owners, all these different minds coming together is a great, great asset. And you cannot replace that. And you cannot replace good people. You cannot replace good employees. I don't care what they say. If you've ever done any hiring or done any business out there, and you start to check people's record, and you start to check their history, it's fine. It's hard to find good people that are not doing drugs or have a criminal record, or who's embezzled, or who are just complete deadbeats. Do you know why it's hard to find those people? Because they already have a job somewhere else, or they own their own business. The good people are already taken. So for you to, belittle your employees is a sad, sad state of affair. And they're going to get, karma's coming after them. But it doesn't surprise me that, you know, that one lady who's the daughter of the father that they kicked out, and maybe they had a right to kick him out, but did you catch where he's like, the father is like, God, go to hell? Well, that's probably where she learned that from. That's where she learned how to treat people. It's probably her father. For a father to say that to their daughter, regardless of what she did, makes me question his, you know, morality. So it wouldn't surprise me that she learned that from him. But, you know, I'm reading like the reviews on Facebook and on Google, what people are saying about this. You know, they are not going to stop. They said they're going to call all their customers, the shops that they have the candy in, the 240 sweet candy, and they're going to say, hey, you need to, we're not going to patronize your store if you continue to have this candy in your store. We're boycotting you. We're not going to do business. We're not going to buy any of your other products. If you keep 240 sweet candy in your store, we're not going to buy from you. And what do you think companies are going to do when they get 1,000 calls like that? They're going to, you know, end the contract. So, do I think that they're getting a fair shake? Well, the way I see it is they're the ones that contacted the Profit CNBC. They're the ones that contacted them, and they admitted at the very end of the show, hey, we used you. Well, you know, the Profit used them. They're going to get good ratings on the show, but you know, now we're here. The first show came out, and look what's happening. They are going to get endless amount of people bugging them, calling them, you know, you name it. And here's the thing. Here's the nasty thing about it for them. This is just one show. How many reruns do you see of The Profit? People are going to see it next week. They're going to see it next month. They're going to see it 6 months from now. They're going to see it a year from now. They'll see it 4 years from now. And it will be non-stop. And we're not talking about a few dozen people. We're talking about hundreds of people that have just seen the show 6 years from now, 5 years from now. If they were smart, this is what I would do. I would change the name. I know I shouldn't be giving them any good ideas because, you know, I'm not for them. But they should change the name 240 Sweet to something else. And yeah, that won't be a, you know, full 100% proof, but at least by changing the name, it'll redirect people that are trying to bug them and trying to mess with their business to, you know, not be able to find them pretty much. So, of course, overall, I like the show. I could tell Marcus was almost at the edge there at the end. Like, you know, he's very professional, and yeah, he can get testy with people. But I could tell, even though he still kept his composure at the end, I could tell the cameras were on them. He was close to like blowing up and saying something that he probably wouldn't want to be, you know, on camera. Anyways, comment on below. What's your opinion of how these two owners treated their employees? What do you think? You think their business will be able to stay afloat after this media attention that they're going to get? You know, it's going to be interesting. Thanks for watching.